Hola, animigos, and welcome to Keyframers, the animated collaborative coding live stream where we bring imaginative user interfaces to life. I'm your host, Stephen Shaw.
And I'm your host, David Khourshid.
Together, we are coding compadres, animation amigos, Boolean buddies, and keyframe companions.
Yeah, so we're going to be creating an animation from scratch live using only HTML and CSS today, because I said so. We're happy to answer any questions you may have, so please reach out in the chat or comments.
That's right. So yeah, kind of a different one today. You sent this over, Stock Labs landing page by Kevin Ducan. That's a nice kind of cinematic, I believe was the descriptor you used.
Yeah. So I've actually been really interested in like the way that designers display their case studies, their prototypes, their animations. A lot of them do it using cinematic effects, which is really quite an interesting approach. I remember the old days in Dribbble and just other websites that showed off these user interfaces where it's just static. You have the interface right there, and it's it doesn't really feel real. It just feels like a static mock-up, even if it's animated. And now we have like people doing cinematic effects more and more. So I guess designers are crossing over into either Cinema 4D or Adobe After Effects and adding these cinematic effects just to give their designs a little bit more realism. And it's actually really cool. So I have an entire collection on Dribbble for that. By the way, I only use Dribbble for collecting designs. I don't even really post anything there.
But, it feels like over the past year it's changed quite a bit. There doesn't seem to be as much like interactive, like fun UI that we used to see a lot of. It's kind of harder to find fun animations to me, but
so I'm sort of curious, like how would a cinematic effect like this look on a website, and would it even be useful?
I think there is a time and a place for it, for sure. Showing off a product, certainly. But wow. Well, yeah, looking over at the code. So hey, this is our 21st episode of the third season. Very appropriate for the 2021 new year.
Yes, it is. And Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year to you and to all of you. So you're getting a little bit of scaffolding in here, it seems.
I'm basically copying everything from the actual Fintori design case study that they have. But yeah, the idea is, let's say that you have a static design just like this. Let's display it cinematically.
Yeah, it could really even be an image, a video. There's a lot of different approaches for like what the content actually would be here.
Yeah.
Let's do a max width 960. There we go. I was wondering why it was overflowing on my souped up screen size. Right. So looking back at the animation, let's show controls, see if I can even access those. All right, so we've got just kind of that fun intro text, like some charts and stuff. What would you like to focus on here?
So once we have all the pieces in place, we could actually just crank through the animation and see how we could display it cinematically.
I'm wrapping a header here to do.
But yeah, the first step, of course, is just getting all of that content in place, which is right what we're doing now. So yeah. So we have a subheader there. Let's see what else.
A little bit separation there. Place items. Emmanuel, thanks for joining us. Okay, place content center. That's good. So header P 0.8. Fade it out a little bit. Tighter.
Kill the margin on the H1 header. Yeah, that should be 0. There we go. Wait, why are you censoring it all?
I'm doing it based on the very top of it.
Okay.
The stock
I
labs
was doing
one.
it based on the case study.
Based on the case study. Oh, do they have?
Yeah.
Oh, they've got one linked there. Okay.
Yeah.
Ah,
Which has it not centered, but I mean we could do whatever.
Yeah. Does not matter.
Works.
It's just one line change to or align content center.
Mm-hmm.
Go. Oh, margin.
It's a huge font size though.
0.
It's probably knocked that down a bit. At least in my monitor, it's pretty bad. Or not bad, big.
Yeah, that's good. Right. And then
So I also had a margin 0 auto somewhere. Oh yeah, right here. Margin 0 auto. And our P, line height 1.6, which is what it was there. And also a color here.
there we go. Just give a little bit of a border on everything. All right. And then let's see. I'm gonna like do an image down below that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so going into the free design assets here, photos, search for, let's look for stocks. Stock market? Nothing.
Yeah, stock market works.
Are you getting anything relevant there?
Oh no, I wasn't looking.
NASDAQ. That's a thing, right? Yeah, sure. Alright, so copy as image, small. Paste that in here.
Let's see, what else do we have? The client mission.
60.
Let's see, our mission.
Did you actually stay up for anything on New Year's, David?
No, I did not. So personally, I was in a remote part near Mount Hood. Very far away from anyone. And that's over in Oregon, by the way, which has like some of the strictest COVID regulations. Like there is absolutely nothing you could do there, but except snowboard, I guess. And yeah, we decided to celebrate New Year's on the East Coast. So
Nice.
I was like, all right, we are going to say Happy New Year's at 9 p.m. and then go to bed. That was our strategy.
That's a good plan. I'm for that.
How about you?
All right, so we got a fancy image in there. Want to do just like the two column thing and another image down below that.
Oh yeah, so in main I could display grid template columns. We could say, we won't say, just 50%, 50% probably. And that way, whoa,
Well, so the header you'll need to do.
Everything by default should probably just span the entire grid column. 1, -1.
Got the. Oh, okay. I mean, you can. Yeah.
And then we could put the H2 plus V. We could put those in a section, literally a section. I think I only have one class name in this entire thing.
You know, that's a good way to do it.
Semantic, right?
Yeah, you know, I like taking that kind of approach to things. That's good. Right, so you're gonna do section. You just do. Oh yeah. Good column. Auto. Yep, that'll do it. And we can add a grid gap up here. Increase that. Go. It's quite nice. Do we have box? Yeah, we've got box sizing, border box.
Wow, this image looks awkward. There's a lot of space between, you know, the header and the image. Let's see if we could fix that.
Yeah, so I have some padding on the header itself, just to give it a little bit more room. Okay,
all right, that works.
That's more what I wanted. So we got image there. Let's do email. So adding another image down below. 60.
I suspect that this will be pretty straightforward to animate once we have all the parts in place.
Yeah.
I just wanted to add some content so that, you know, it actually looks decent. Right, so
where's our content going right up to the edge? Thanks, Marco. Looking forward to your new stuff. We are too. Gap.
Oh, I was wondering where the red border came from.
Yeah, I added that. Is the content going right up to the right edge?
Shouldn't be. Or well, actually, no, it is.
Yeah,
Indeed, it
it
is.
looks like it is, but I've got padding on the container, so I'm not sure why it's
Let's see. We have box sizing board box. That's
right.
always important. Might want to do an overflow hidden on the main. That's sometimes a culprit. Except that that's not really. That's really weird. It could be the display grid that we're doing.
Yeah.
No, you know what it is? It's probably this 50%, 50%.
Oh,
If I
50%. Yeah.
do
1FR,
1FR, then
see that always gets me.
there we go.
You're so used to laying
Okay.
out with percentages that it's really tough. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, we can.
All right, cool.
Overflow hidden. All right, so we've got some interesting content. We can add more to it as we go.
Yeah, but I think this is good for now. So
yeah, it gives us a nice start. Okay. All right. So let's make it cinematic. So we'll need lights. We'll need camera. We'll need action. Anything else I'm missing?
no, those are the three essential elements for, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So walk us through like what we would do to make this pop, if you will.
Well, as far as the design, let's say that we have the design, so not much to do here. But looking at the original animation, there's a few elements. There's well, obviously there's elements, but a few animation elements, which is both the rotation, the translation. I don't know about scaling, but yeah, basically those two things. Oh, also it has a nice little fade effect. Not sure if we could really do that, but we could figure it out.
Yeah, it'd be tough to do the timing without.
Yeah, that's true. Unless we have like intersection observer or something like that. So
yeah, you already said no JavaScript though.
Yep,
but
no
I
JavaScript.
think we can coordinate some stuff based on just
exactly.
timing.
Yeah.
So, all right. So our main here. Let's do perspective. 600, probably a little higher than that. Transform style, serve 3D, and we'll do that for the children as well in case they need to be transformed. And then we just transform, rotate Z 25 degrees. It's not rotate Z, it's going to be rotate X. Rotate. Do we need to do the perspective on? Yeah, we do the perspective on the body.
So the perspective and the transform style, preserve 3D, that's gonna go on the body, and we're rotating Y. Maybe not 45 degrees, maybe like 5 degrees.
Yeah. All right, so we're essentially just setting up a 3D scene with 3D CSS transforms. Probably want to scale it back a little bit, which we can do that with scale or with whatever. For this, do we want transform origin top?
Good question. Yes, I would say so.
Seems like that.
translate Y, negative 100%. All right, so I have this cinematic keyframes here, and we could probably use that to actually do the animation. Here, let me just test something. So animation, cinematic, 5 seconds. Now both. And let's see what happens here. Well, it's
probably a little bit longer than that,
but yeah. Okay, so now we could start adding our rotations as well.
Right. Yeah, so we can start it off on that, and then we can go to -5 degrees. You know, probably want to bump those up a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a bit fast. Yeah, looking back at the original animation just to see.
Yeah, the original animation is quite slow.
Yeah. Is and things fade in, things fade out, but we don't necessarily need that. We could actually sort of fake it. I'm gonna try something else. We have main. That's animating. I think that feels right. I'm not sure. This work.
So what I did there on the the final frame, translate Y, that 50 VH still, so that it's still like on the screen.
Aha, there we go.
What did you add?
Stuff. Super cinematic.
A nice vignette.
Yep, have to have that.
So cinematic, we're just using that as a descriptor. That's not any kind of library or anything like that, but just coming up with some ways to really present content in a dynamic way, just with some pretty straightforward animation. Let's do a background. We'll do background. That.
There we go. Now, this does sort of highlight one of the problems with gradients in CSS in that gradients are linear. So you don't get a smooth gradient like you would in, just any other program.
Yeah.
You could fake it, but it's non-trivial.
K2 in the chat. I'm trying to get started. Any tips? Because I don't know where to start. What are you trying to get started with? Let us know. We can.
Yeah, let us know, and we will definitely help you out.
Don't have to do
cool. So we have an animation that is going back and forth. I wonder if we could just make it repeat.
Yeah, I took off the alternate on there.
Ah, okay. There we go.
I feel like we can speed it up a little bit too.
Aha. So tell me right now if it feels a little bit different.
It
Like
feels
if
a
you look
little
at it
bit
again.
different.
It does?
You told me to tell you that. I don't.
Okay. Well, it's supposed to. What I did was I moved the rotate Y to be the first transform instead of the last one. And that way it actually sort of teeters from left to right. And yeah, it's I think it's closer to the original that way a little bit.
Yeah, essentially what we're doing with these transforms is kind of making a camera for the 3D, but technically the camera's staying still and we're moving the entire object, but we're trying to give that same kind of feel.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, one thing can do. Let's do this. Frames. I'm gonna take camera. Speaking of cameras, can do from perspective origin, center right, center left.
Interesting.
Yeah, you can
play
with these
maybe
values.
That's just my eyes.
What's that?
Oh, that's really cool. So now it seems like the camera's just I don't know, whatever it's called, moving out.
Well, yeah, a little bit of a camera movement by changing the perspective origin.
Now that's really cool. So yeah, there's all sorts of little things that you could do with this. Make it lifelike, make it look like you're actually manipulating the camera on your website. It's pretty nifty. So Diamond Drake in the chat says it's a neat effect. Not sure when you would actually use it. Maybe if attached to scroll. Yeah, that's true. I'm not sure when you would use it either. Personally, I would love to make like just a little, quick app where you could just record your web app, just throw some CSS, and just have a really cool demo to show off to people. I don't know.
Yeah, that as far as practicality, you could think about this as like an effect you might have on like a product demo page or something like that, where this wouldn't necessarily be content like that you would want them to read, but like an image or a brochure or something like that you're showing off, a product image gallery or something, giving it that extra kind of flair, even just as like an intro to it. It wouldn't necessarily have to fade in and out or repeat or anything like that, but using these kinds of effects to get that nice eye-grabbing intro. Like a lot of Apple sites do effects like this.
It's true.
The top header.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you want to get crazy, you could even add a CSS variable in there, pause the animation, and manipulate the animation delay based on where you're scrolling. So you could actually, I don't want to say easily, but it's pretty straightforward to make this a scrolling effect rather than, an automatic effect. which would really annoy your users because this is sort of a jarring animation, or like sort of discomforting, especially as Shaw plays around with the properties more. He's gonna make this Star Wars any minute now.
I mean, that's a relatively easy effect to do.
It is, yeah.
With
Yeah.
all this.
But yeah, there we go. And honestly, it wasn't that quick to get a nice cinematic effect. But yeah, again, the simple use case for this would be you want to, I don't know, highlight your product or your app on Product Hunt or Twitter or something and just record a quick video instead of having a static screenshot. And this is a great way to do it because now people are going to be like, oh, wow, they hired a whole, videography team to to animate the app and display it in a really cool way. And the answer is no, you just need 15 minutes of CSS to do this same effect. So,
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So that's working really well so far. Oops. Here it. Here we go. We need to refine our CSS variable animation technique, like for all the animation properties. Do a really nice approach for that. And of course, playing with the Bezier. A little more subtle than that.
Those are pretty precise numbers there.
What?
No, it works. Definitely works. All right, let's see.
Yeah, it's always tough to balance with the ease, the in and the out.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing we can do to kind of increase the effect. So let's say image, transform, translate Z, deep pixels. Kind of give some layering happening here. Should. Any reason that's not working?
What are you trying to do again?
To give like like pop the images off the off of it a little bit.
Oh, like transform, translate Z?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay, so you'll have to make sure you add that transform style preserve 3D.
Yeah, that's being applied to everything there.
Ah, okay. Thinking. I wonder if there's some flattening going on, even though there shouldn't be.
Right.
Let's see, header.
Is it your will change transform?
No, that shouldn't be doing anything. Yeah, make it just huge. Make it really pop. Well, yeah, it sort of just disappeared for a minute there. I'm not sure. Hmm.
A little more explicit about it. That's not doing anything. Transform.
Well, it does disappear randomly, that's for sure. So
well, that's the effect we want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm not too sure why it doesn't do that. It's strange. Does it work on images? Do we have to display block it? It probably is the right display block.
Right.
I actually don't even remember. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's one thing about 3D CSS that always throws me off is the transform style, sort of 3D, and like the flattening of layers.
Yeah, not sure. Oh, well, we could leave that as an exercise to the reader.
Yeah. Yeah, so. If you know what's up with the 3D transforms, feel free to chime in the chat, or, you know, whatever. All right, so anything else you'd like to add to it while we're in here?
No, I think that's good.
Oh, let me move this down below just to make sure that we're not overwriting it. No. Nothing. All right. No worries. Excellent.
Beautiful.
Okay. Well, yeah, not a whole lot to break down here, but I think we can kind of summarize how we accomplished this amazing cinematic effect.
Mm-hmm.
So hey, if you're watching live, stick with us. We're gonna kind of do some summary stuff that we'll cut out into a small video, but you'll get a lot of benefit out of it too. So keep watching. Let's do that. Give myself a little marker here. Just a moment. Hola and amigos, and welcome to Keyframers. I'm Stephen Shaw.
And I'm David Khourshid.
Let's take a quick look at this cinematic animation and see how we accomplished this. So this was inspired by this Stock Labs landing page animation on Dribbble. And we wanted to recreate a similar effect to be kind of like a product showcase or you know, a page demonstration, something to just really make an impact there. So we've created this cinematic style effect for our page. What does cinematic animation mean to you, David?
So cinematic means operating it like as if you had a camera, right? And a videography team, and you're taking a nice artistic view of the animation or the design, and what have you. In this case, it's a static design, and we are applying a cinematic effect as if there was a camera going from top to bottom. I forget what that's called in videography.
Yeah, there's dollying, trucking, and
panning,
raining,
you know, zooming, of course.
Panning. Yeah, there's so many different camera terms. We are not camerologists.
Yeah.
So, but what we've done here, instead of actually moving a camera, we actually have the content itself being moved through this cinematic animation. So on our body, we've set up perspective to give everything a 3D effect. We've done our transform style preserve 3D so that helps carry throughout. And we're also adding a little extra flavor, like a camera, to kind of move the perspective origin. So this really just kind of is like tilting a camera around a little bit. That gives it just a little extra movement, a little extra 3D effect.
Mm-hmm.
And then David added this nice kind of vignette effect with a linear gradient pseudo element over, so you get the nice fade at the edges. And then walk us through that cinematic animation there.
Sure. So we have this cinematic keyframes, and there's two things happening here. First, we are translating Z, so it's actually pushed back a little bit. If you could just envision it in 3D space, just pushing it back. And yeah, if we didn't do that, it would be just right up in your face the entire time, which isn't really that realistic. So that's why we have that translate Z. And it's coming a little bit closer at the end. So that's the first part. First part. The first part. We're also doing rotate Y. Now, sometimes it gets confusing figuring out whether you have to rotate on the X, Y, or Z axis. But the best thing to do is to think about it visually. Y-axis goes up and down, X-axis goes left and right, Z-axis goes in and out. So in this case, we are rotating it on the Y-axis. So that's why we're rotating it from 30 degrees to negative 30 degrees, just to give it that tilting towards you and then away from you effect. And then we are using translate Y. We're actually using a combination of units. We're using 50 VH, viewport height units, to make it appear at the middle of the page first, and then when the animation is finished, we have it basically trying to go completely to the bottom. And so that's what that negative 100% is.
Right. We're moving it 100% of the element itself off the screen, but then we're shifting it down 50 VH, so it ends in the center of the screen as well.
Yeah, and this is a cool little trick. You are allowed to do that. In fact, we could add even more translate Z's. So you could think of everything in transform not as properties in an object, like here's the Z, here's the rotate Y, here's the X, but more like operations that you perform on a transform matrix. So you could apply as many of these as you want. We haven't tested the limits, but I'm sure there is some arbitrary limit.
Yes. The good thing about it is you can apply them very specifically in order, because the order is going to be very important. If you move the rotate Y or whatever before the translate Z, it's going to give you a different effect than if you have the rotate at the end. Sometimes it's going to be subtle, sometimes it'll be really noticeable, but you really have to play with that order to get everything how you want. And yeah, don't be afraid to call the same function more than once. For translate Y here, for instance, that can help you avoid having to do complicated calcs and get things messy. Just split it out into another function.
Yeah, exactly. So the last part of this is we are animating opacity, and we're grouping animation keyframes here. So it should start as transparent and end as transparent, and in the middle between 25 and 75%, it should be fully opaque. And that's exactly what we have.
Yes, and something I did messed up the rotation there. That back in place. So yeah, this doesn't seem like a super practical effect. Like, it's not something you would drop onto a page, to have the user experience the page in that way. But if you think about like the Apple product demo pages and the way that they like present the products at the very top, this is a very similar kind of approach that you can adapt these techniques to showcase a product or as an intro for a piece of content. These are great little tidbits that you can carry over into your animations and sites.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think that's mostly it.
Yeah.
You want to move into the outro here?
Let's go for it.
All right.
So you can watch. Oh,
Sorry.
What?
Go ahead.
All right. You can watch the full process of creating this animation for a deeper dive into each technique on the full live stream links right below. Leave us a comment if you have any questions.
That's right. Our show is supported by our sponsors, CodePen at codepin.io, CSS Tricks at css-tricks.com, and viewers like you. You can pledge at patreon.com/keyframers and subscribe to our channel for more great content. Got plenty of links available below for you, so check those out. That's all we have for you for now, but thank you for watching. Until next time, adios, amigos.
Adios.